Welcome to Creative Cooking. Today we're making a club sandwich, which is 2 sandwiches in one. And we have to start off with some bacon. I have a 14-ounce package of nice center-cut bacon, and we're going to lay that flat, overlapping just a little bit on each one. And then we're going to season it up with some pepper, because it's just better that way. Cook that at 350 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes until it looks like this. It'll have some bubbles forming all over the place, and that's how you know it's done. And of course, we don't want to waste that bacon fat. As any good chef knows, it's very useful for making home fries or even as a starter for making bacon bits. So it's a good thing to put aside, put it in the fridge in a sealed container for future use. Then you'll want to drain that on a paper towel, and if you want to blot the tops, that's fine, but we drained off most of the fat, so it's not really necessary. Just set that aside, because the next thing we're going to do, we purposely did not line this with foil. We wanted a little bit of that fond to develop on the bottom and some of that bacon fat. And we're going to plop our hamburger right on top of it. Now that's an 80-20 hamburger. I usually use 80-15, so it's going to shrink a little bit, but that's all right. And the objective here is to form it into a rectangle. Forming it into a rectangle so you can cut it up into 6 equal-sized pieces that will fit your bread perfectly. And this is a sheet pan style hamburger, if you've ever done that. 425 degrees for about 10 minutes or so until it's done. You don't want to dry it out. You'll see there's a lot of fat runoff, but that's okay. We're not eating that. We're not going to use it at all. And then I like to season that with either salt and pepper, or in this case I'm using Montreal steak seasoning. It's one of my favorites. And it could have been seasoned ahead of cooking or after cooking, just like this, and it works out just fine. And then we're going to top it with 6 slices of American processed cheese. That's right. We could do it with cheddar. We can do it with pretty much anything. But yeah, we're going to stick around with the American style cheeseburger. So we're going to use American cheese. And we're going to pop that back in the oven for a couple of minutes or so until the cheese is melted, and that's it. And then take it back out. And don't forget that bacon. Now that we have all our proteins put together, we can start assembling the sandwiches. So use the spatula or something like that to cut them into squares and just start building your sandwich. I'm using romaine lettuce, but you can use anything you want. And of course, we could use mayonnaise, but I made a quick aioli, garlic aioli, I should say. And yeah, that's just a mixture of mayonnaise, some garlic powder, some lemon juice, salt, pepper, just a flavored mayonnaise, or a plain mayonnaise will work. And we're going to put a generous amount on that second slice of bread, because now we're going to build the BLT part of our sandwich. Okay, with some tomatoes. I'm using just regular garden tomatoes here. You could use Romas, but I think these are fine. And a little more lettuce. All right. And you could put salt and pepper on those tomatoes if you want to. I sometimes do, and I sometimes don't. Figure there's enough salt in here. And you see how the bacon got all stuck together, so we can just tear it off into a perfect square? Helps hold it all together. It makes it a lot easier to build the sandwich. And of course we got to slather on some more of that garlic aioli. Garlic aioli is a wonderful thing for sandwiches. If you haven't made it before, you can check out my chicken aioli recipe, and I show you how to make it from scratch. All right, so we have a nice tall sandwich here, which you're not going to eat like this. We want to present this the same way they do in the restaurants. And this is how it's done. Just get some toothpicks and, put it in the middle of each quarter of the sandwich or whatever. And this will help to hold it all together, not only while we cut it, but while we serve it. So now that you got your toothpicks in place, take a nice sharp knife and just cut it into quarters. And this has always been like one of my favorite type of sandwiches to get when I go out for lunch, along with some French fries or a potato salad. So you might want to serve this with, your favorite potato or onion rings. Onion rings would be nice, I think. Now after you cut it all up, those toothpicks hold those little quarters together very nicely. Normally you would arrange them on a plate with fries and have at it. So I hope you give it a try. Come back each week for more great videos made for people who like to cook. Till then, ciao.